Game 365 podcast. I'm in the building with my nigga Interstate Smoke. What's happening, P?
What's going on, PZ?
Man, I'm chilling, man. You know, long overdue. Glad to see you, though, man.
Come on.
Yeah, for sure, man. So how you been doing, bro?
Shit, I just been chilling, modulating, getting educated. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Trying to
that's
put this
what's
shit
up.
together, do things on a higher caliber than what most niggas is used to. Know what I mean?
Yeah, that's called growth, man, and transcending, you know what I'm saying, for where we come from. You feel me?
Yeah, definitely.
So let everybody know where you from.
I'm from South Seattle, Washington. I be on the road though. You know how that shit go.
Yeah.
All over, really. The country's my playground and shit.
Talk to me, man. So, you know, just speaking of Seattle, though, how was it like, you know, growing up in Seattle and shit?
It really have its ups and downs. You know, I feel like the good things about it is that Seattle's real multicultural. It teaches you a lot, but on the downside, I feel like we could stick together a lot more in the black community. You know, I'm from the hood, so South Seattle, you know, Cloverdale Street, so, you know, a lot of people have to go towards gangs to find that type of bond, whereas you're really supposed to be able to find that without that in the community. So it's kind of like a hit and miss type thing with different hoods. I don't know how everybody's hood is, but I'm just speaking for mine. You know what I'm saying? So it's different, but you know, it's a good thing and a bad thing. You know what I'm saying?
How did the multiculturalism in Seattle kind of shape how you look at life, though?
It definitely made me be able to talk to a funny story. I wanted to go to school in the hood. You know, I wanted to go to school in the hood. My twin brother went to school in the hood and shit like that. And then my pops, on the low, he signed me up to Lindbergh and Renton. Now, I got expelled from Nelson, and I didn't want to go to Lindbergh. I didn't like the area and shit like that. I just didn't. It was like too ritzy and uppity for me and shit. And you know, I ended up getting expelled from there, to be honest. But that growing up in that type of environment, you know, it kind of shaped me to be more of a better hustler, some better ism, you know what I'm saying? Talk to different people, you know what I'm saying, and thrive in different type of environments, you know. So by the time I got a little older, when I was already in Green Hill, I was able to communicate. I didn't have to get taught how to communicate with different races, the Chicanos and all that shit. You know what I'm saying? I was already laced up on that, the API and all that, you know, because every race that you can think of, there's hood motherfuckers. So, am I supposed to say motherfucker?
You can say whatever you want to say. Pop your shit, bro.
You know what I'm saying?
Pop your shit.
I was able to get that type of game early just by changing around my environment, why I go back to the good things about Seattle. It's so multicultural, you know, and you know the game is real out here too.
Facts.
You know, and they love some brothers. So
Yeah.
You know.
How has, you know, the rest of the world, you feel from a Northwest point of view, got a misunderstanding for the ism out here, you know what I'm saying, in this PNW though, you know?
I feel like right now we was talking about it. It's bad all over the West Coast right now. It's like gangbanging is a new fad. Like pimp hop is turning into like some real like hip hop shit. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not gonna lie, I've had to deal with that myself from both sides of the spectrum. Being new in the game, and you know everybody has a history. You know, and a lot of people know me in the town. My history ain't no mystery. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
So being that type of a person and coming from where I came from, juvenile life, being from the hood, gangbanging, hitting licks with the homies, you know, pressing niggas, robbing people and shit, and then you go out there, it's gonna take a little while for you to learn and get adapt. But the thing that I don't like is, say for example, I'm not gonna say nowhere specific.
Yeah.
But you know, you're a part of this lifestyle, so you know, a motherfucker will come from somewhere else and act like because we're in a different place that they can post judgment so early on the youth. The young bulls trying to come up in the game. Instead of lacing him up, let that man pimp. You feel me? Because everybody knows me. I didn't have my ups and downs, but I'm at the place right now where I'm so past all that type of bullshit that I'm just more so trying to enlighten my young ism out here and let them know you could do better than this. You feel me? But I'm not gonna lie, I was the one to be out there. You know, I had the Grand Marquise on the 26s, neck full of gold chains and all that shit. But you know, I want something better now. You know what I'm saying? The game is really about elevation. So, you know, to all my young niggas out there that's stuck in that mind frame, you could do something better with your game. You know what I'm saying? Don't spend all that money on all that designer and all that shit's that shit could wait, bro. You know what I'm saying? So that's the thing that I don't like though. When people from other places come through, and you know, there's young niggas everywhere trying to get pimping. You feel me?
Yeah, for sure.
Instead of enlightening them, because I got laced up by some cross countryism.
Yeah,
you know what I'm
yeah.
saying? Shout out Interstate. You know what I'm saying? Shout out my bro Drama Don. You know what I mean? But you know, it took me a long time to really find myself. You know. And my mentor, the person who mentored me in the lifestyle, Interstate Rod, he always used to tell me, because I was a firecracker, you know what I mean? He used to always tell me, hey, you remember, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
He used to always tell me, and shout out my brother Tony P too.
Yeah,
he used to always tell me, man, where do you see yourself in 5 years? You know, and I used to be like, man, I see myself working on these bitches, you know, 10 deep, you know, getting pimping. Yeah. He said, well, come back to me in 5 years and tell me that.
Yeah.
You know, and some of the most excruciating things I done been through in life, not just in the lifestyle, but in life, happened after them 5 years. And it changed me as a human being, and it changed me as the ism, you know, and I'm never going to be the same. Now I've moved different, and now my growth is more shown, you know, so... I just, you know, I feel like if more P's cross country had more respect for what goes on everywhere, not just in their hometown, because that mentality is gangbanging too.
Yeah.
So I felt like if more P's, and you know, some young niggas can't be taught, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But when you're going cross country and you come across some young ism, man, lace that man up, bro. Don't sit there and try to hide and deny what, you know, this fruitful ism.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what we do to the whores, you know what I mean? So lace that young man up so that he can lace somebody else up, because that's how I got laced. And now I continue to lace. All the young P's on the A, they all fuck with me. Whenever there's a problem, I'm calling, trying to make sure everything's handled. Hey, bro, we don't have to go to that no more.
Yeah,
you know,
for sure.
We've been there, done that. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, the game, it gets watered down, it gets corny, you know what I'm saying? But when there's too much water, what do? You pour it out and start fresh with a pot. You know.
So let me go back for a minute, because I like that. But let's go back for a minute. How did juvenile detention kind of make you and mold you for, you know, the streets per se? Because a lot of people don't realize doing time as a youth, you know, that puts a strain on your mental. So a lot of cats can deal with it. A lot of cats never come back, and then they just ruin their whole life because all they know is jail, juvenile. I did time myself, damn near juvenile life. So I was able to bounce back and, you know what I'm saying, figure out the direction I wanted to go per se. But, you know, I know homies that, man, ever since we was doing time at Green Hill, because I was there when you had your regular clothes you could order from East Bay, and when we had the uniforms. You feel for real, bro?
Nah, facts.
You know what I'm saying?
I remember
when Hawthorne was built, Autumn was built. Yeah. So I'm saying that to say, is there effect of PTSD that follows you as a grown man now from doing that time?
Like I always say, there's good and there's bad with everything, every situation. I wouldn't be the man that you're seeing right here in front of me if I didn't go to Green Hill. God is my witness, you know. I learned a lot of... Let me put it to you like this. Before I went to Green Hill, it's a funny story. I thought I was going to go to Echo Glen because I was 14. And I was like, oh yeah, I'm about to still be popping it at bitches and doing this. They said, nah, they slapped that big book at me. You know the big book. Yeah. You know? you going to the big boy jump. You know what I mean? And I'm like, oh man, I told my mom, I'm talking to my dad, we on three-way and shit, and I'm telling my pops, like, my mom was like, man, you need to get you a hobby. I'm like, man, I'm about to get out and not have shit going for myself. I'm gonna be a fucking loser. Yeah. And I'm telling, and my mom's advice was, you need to find a hobby, which led me on to start making music, you know. And then my father told me, yo, bro, I understand you got your homeboys and all that gang shit is cool. That's what's up. But when you go up in there, nigga, you're your own man. You know what I'm saying? And he's like, you gonna see what I'm talking about. All that needing a whole bunch of people to have your back. One live nigga's better than 5 job niggas. Let your nuts hang, nigga. You a man.
For sure.
You know, and I stuck with that my whole time. You know, and I seen a lot of my friends fold. And I built a lot of stronger bonds with some of the friends that I didn't even know that would end up being my friends from different races and different segments. But does this shit still haunt me? Yeah, I'm 30 years old, you know what I'm saying? I'm still learning how to function in society.
Yeah.
But it helped me become the man I am today, you know, and it helped me with my leadership skills, and it helped me not to back down from nobody. You know what I'm saying? It taught me a lot, and it taught me to find myself.
For sure.
You know, so.
How did you kind of create, you know, the music persona back then, or did that come later in life?
I'm not gonna lie. It wasn't until, shout out my bro Antonio Cuts, man. It wasn't until I was on the yard. I was in prison in Monroe. That was my last time ever going to prison. They told me to bust a freestyle, you know. Shout out to homie Hell Rail and Nugs. They was there and shit. Yeah, they told me to freestyle and shit because I was telling niggas I could rap. And I was weak at first, you know. The first time I rapped, a couple times people laughed at me.
Yeah.
You know, but that sarcastic way that I rap, you listen to my music. You know, like the shit talking, the goofy stuff, that didn't come until I was in prison. Like, where I really honed my craft. By then, I had already read the dictionary, had already read the rhyming dictionary, was already knowing how to make full songs in my head, wasn't using pad and pencil no more, you know. So by then, I was already good enough to just rap.
Yeah.
So I was coming out there to the Rock, and, you know, Antonio, because it's like, oh, I heard you could rap, man. Spit that shit. And I'm like, nah, I'm cool. He's like, oh, man, this dude whack. Start rapping and shit. And I'm like, nigga, I ain't whack. So I goes in and start rapping my shit. Next thing you know, we got a whole crowd of people. Oh, and 3D was there. Shout out 3D.
Yeah.
Next thing you know, we got a whole crowd of, you know, prisoners from different segments. You know how that shit go to politics. Yep. Everybody sitting around just, you know, waiting for me to get mine off. You know, no homo. And it was that's when I figured it out. And from there, I started working on the rapper persona from that point. You know, and then I got out and fell back in love with this street shit, and kind of put it to the side to get my bag right, and, you know, elevate myself, and, you know, that type of shit happened.
So where did the New York and the East Coast flavor get added into your life? Is your people from there, or you went out there, or, you know, because we got to know.
My mom is born in Cincinnati, grew up in the Central District.
Okay, that's
She's
what's
from
up.
Union.
Okay, that's what's up.
My daddy's from Soundview Projects, and my mom is, I'm not gonna get all up into her business, but my mom doesn't have much family. Yeah. And my dad has a huge family, so all my cousins, most of them migrated out here, including my dad. My grandmother was the first one. She was fucking with a bank robber. Back in the day. They met in the Midwest, and then he said, oh, I'm about to travel up to Seattle and hit licks, so you want to come? And my grandma was like, oh, yeah. Just roll with him and shit, you know. I don't think she want me telling you guys all her history, so I ain't going to break down the whole.
No, we just want to know New York, the East Coast roots.
East Coast roots. She traveled out here, but before that, she asked all her kids, which is all my uncles and aunties, and my dad, hey, do you guys want to move out here with me? And the only one that wanted to come was like a couple, I think. So they came out there with her. My dad stayed because he was staying in the projects at my great grandma's. Rest my great grandmother, so I love the woman. But they like a lot of them stayed until later on. My uncle True came out here with my grandmother. And, you know, my grandmother was, you know, my grandmother hood. She ain't no square, you know what I mean? So she was, you know, doing her thing, messing with the bank robber till he got arrested. Then my Uncle True came, and, you know, she started, you know, helping him out, helping him get on his feet. When he fell off and he was trying to figure it out, she'd give him the welfare check, let him boss up. And then my Uncle True became a millionaire, and he just basically just flew like as much family as he could out here. So rest his soul, R.I.P. Uncle True.
That's what's up. So by you traveling back and forth from Seattle to NYC, playing the East Coast or playing the West Coast, what is the common thing that you see or don't see on both sides of the map?
As far as what?
As far as the game, as far as the streets, as far as the different cultures, as far as how they go about, you know what I'm saying, having, you know what I'm saying, flavor as far as dressing and swag, you know what I'm saying?
So, first, as far as like being in the streets, this is one thing that, another thing that my father always taught me. And I thought he was, you know, on some, you know, Northwest hater shit until I actually moved out to New York or started. At this time, I was just traveling back and forth and grinding out there. He always told me, like, man, you know what the problem is with niggas out here? I'd be like, what? You know, he'd be like, they just don't know how to be good friends to one another. They wasn't taught, you know, that the black community isn't as strong out here as a lot of other places in major cities where I come from. And I'm thinking, oh man, this nigga is a crock of shit, you know what I mean? Until I actually was out there. See, the difference is, I feel like, and I don't mean to put nobody down, you know, but I feel like when I was getting money in New York, people, they basically cherish you more when you're at the bottom because they see how hard you hustling and they know you're gonna make it. You're gonna do, and no matter what you're doing, if you have a strong work ethic in New York, you're gonna make some money. You need 2-3 hustles just to survive out there. You know what I'm saying? But out here, it's more so like there's already money everywhere, so people don't know what it's like having one person that they can depend on to have some money. Like there's dudes that's my age or older still living with their moms, but you know, 100,000 they just living with their moms because they taking care of the whole family now at this point. They the man of the house. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, I feel like Seattle's so much more affluent, but it makes it better because there's bigger moves, there's bigger plays. You know what I'm saying? We're not all fighting over the same $10. We're all fighting over the same 1,000. You know what I'm saying? So, but you know, there's been times where I done been down to my ass. Like shout out my nigga Big Fur RIU. You feel me? Where nigga done came and tossed me 20 and was lacing me up on the game. I done fucked up the sack. I'm out there doing bad, you know. And I remember when I first came up with the idea that I wanted to get in the game, he was right there with me. You know, I'm practicing on bitches. I'm trying to educate myself. I'm talking to all my pimps friends. I'm doing this, I'm doing that. I'm listening to pimp hop. You know, I'm doing everything I can. You know, and to this day, like when I really bossed up, every time I come out there with a bitch, he gonna say the same thing. I remember when this nigga was sleeping on my floor practicing his P-lines. He was practicing for these bitches, and now look at him. You know, like it's more of a respect for the grind. You know what I'm saying? Because you know you got to think about it, bro. Like, what is ABD? $450 now? 400? It's up to something like that. Man, I don't know anybody, poor or not. I don't know too many people with that get cash aid out there. They throw your ass in the projects and that's where you at, nigga. That's your cash aid. You know what I mean? But as far as like the swag goes, you know, like I said, New York's the fashion capital of the world, but people out here have, you know, it's a more affluent place, so we have better ways of getting nice clothes. You know what I'm saying? But out there, that's the fashion capital of the world. You gotta come outside dripped every day. That's really where I got a lot of I like to get my drip from there. You know what I'm saying? And come back, I bring that, you know, I bring that Seattle flavor to savor, you know what I'm talking about? But, you know, it's some New York, it's some New York clothes though.
Guaranteed.
You know, and as far as the game, like, the game out here is much, I feel like a lot of people out there aren't misguided because I do know some very goodism out there. Shout out, like I said, shout out my bro Drama Don. But I just feel like the game isn't as prevalent, so it's like a new thing. You know, not saying that the game is new. New York is one of the oldest hubs, but it's like when they see somebody like us, they're like, oh my god, like you're a pimp. You know, like I was the first nigga in the South Bronx with a white hoe. You know, I'm walking around in the projects, going to basketball games and shit with my cousin, and she's the only white girl It's such a small ratio of Caucasian women in the South Bronx. Everybody just took her for Puerto Rican.
Yeah, they was looking like, hold up.
That was like the first white girl a lot of them niggas seen. They're like, oh my God, she's such a beautiful Puerto Rican. The bitch is looking at me. I'm like, just chill. Don't even spend your time explaining being native and all this other shit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Just go with it.
How important is being a hustler though? You know what I'm saying? How important is just having that spirit of a hustler? You know what I'm saying? In today's society, because there's a lot of motherfuckers who, is looking for the government. They're looking for a lick. They're looking for, something else to, fall out the sky. But when you have that hustler's ambition, that spirit to really get some paper out here, man, you don't really look in the mirror and know that you ain't gonna succeed. You know what I'm saying?
I can't explain. It's different for everybody.
Yeah.
If you grew up in a household where there was no hustlers around and everybody worked a good job and you went to go get a job, that's cool too. I'm not the type of person to sit there and say, well, however a person views themselves as having success, I feel like that's what you should go for. The biggest person you could be is somebody that takes care of their family. That's first and foremost. But as far as like getting money out the streets and not stealing, man, all I can say to that is I used to hit licks myself, bro. Karma's real. Yeah. My mom is a firm believer. My mom's a firm believer in karma, and she always explained that to me. And all the licks I got away, when I was having a good run on licks, it ended up with me doing a couple years. And it wasn't until I really started grinding where I was able to learn how to keep it. And it doesn't, a nigga will hit for 100 bands, bro, and notice they'll have it next couple months. You're like, yo, bro, let me hold something. Niggas like
2,200 left.
Nigga, I'm diggity, bro. Like, I'm down to my dick, no homo. Like, it's like, bruh, like, damn, like, I'll use myself for an example. Like, now I'm more so complacent. Like, as long as you have a roof over your head and you're not in jail and you're alive, you have another day to survive out here.
Yeah. So
I don't think about the 1 day, the 2 day, the 3 day. Like, damn, it's okay to be down for a second.
Yeah,
but if you're a hustler, you can always climb back up.
Fact.
And that hustle should apply to square life as well, not just in the streets or in the game. It should apply to all walks of life. When you're down and you have that spirit about you, there's no one's gonna stop you. Nothing's gonna stop you from getting back on your feet.
How important is it for a street nigga or a female to be educated? And I mean, be book smart, to learn something about corporate, to learn something about different parts of the world, man. So you'll be able to use that in your arsenal going forth in your life. You know what I'm saying?
In this day and age, I'm gonna be real. They make it seem like it's not that important, but. If it wasn't, they wouldn't need niggas like us. You know what I'm saying? Because, I had this one female and I like to cook. I cook a lot of my own meals and stuff like that. Unless I'm just on the go and I need to eat. I try to eat non-processed food, gluten-free and things of that nature. So, I'm cooking one day and I'm telling G.A.M.E, come over here, let me show you what it is and shit. She's like, man, I'm some hoeing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm already doing all this, you feel me? And I was like, hey, man, at the end of the day, you're still a woman. A woman's supposed to be, especially a black woman. A black woman's supposed to be educated. She's supposed to know how to take care of herself. She's supposed to know how to feed herself and her family. Nowadays they looking up to what's her name? Sexy Red.
Yeah, Cardi B.
Hold up, Cardi B is kind of some sneaky.
I already know she is. I already know.
Cardi B's from the same projects my daddy from. Cardi B from the same. She's respected out there, bro.
Like fuck with her?
Yeah, she ain't no punk ass bitch like that. A lot, but but it's funny that you say that because that's the imagery that they push on our black women. So now it's like, okay, I could be successful being like that. But Cardi B's really a smart Puerto Rican bitch. You know what I'm saying? She really knows. She really got some little game about herself. A lot of people don't know that. You feel me? She used to work at what's the first strip club I've been to? My uncle took me to. Rest in peace, G.O.D. Sins. I think it was called Sins. Club Sin or something like that. Yeah, I think it was called Sins or Sin City. That's what it was called.
Sin City.
Cardi B was working in Sin City. You know what I'm saying? So she was really about that life. She was really like, sneaking all this shit, all this stuff, all this shit, all this stuff. Taking all this shit, all that,
So this is the Game 365 podcast, and I need to know your definition of game.
My good game is good life. Game is a strong sense of education. Not just in the streets, but out the streets. When you have that woman in front of you and she's looking to you to tell her left, right, forward, backwards. She's not just looking for the direction. She's looking for you to help make them stick. And the only way you can teach her to be able to make something stick is by having an education. Nobody wants to listen to somebody that's stupid. All that smoking weed and slapping all the music, like a young bitch might think that shit's cute and cool, but when you start dealing with women, you know what I'm saying, or that young bitch wants to become a woman, the only way she's gonna survive, with or without you, is by you utilizing a sense of education. So knowledge is power. So if you don't got that, you don't got anything in this world, especially being our skin tone. So
how important is it for a pimp, player, or a Mac to reinvest the proceeds from the game back into him and his program in order, to flourish in today's day, bro?
To be honest, that's everything. I used to be one of them young P's that, like I said, I was a little firecracker. I was out there band-aided up, big Grand Marquis, on sixes, slapping chains and, doing my thing. And, my old P's used to always be like, man, stay out the mall. Stay out the mall. I'm big shopping sprees, Snapchatting, $5,000, $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 shopping sprees a day, bitch, hit for... I used to have this thing where I'd be like, okay, if you hit over this amount, I'll just take you shopping. I'm not taking bitches. hey, because this shit could be invested. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like I said, having a strong sense of education and really just knowing your worth and knowing your bitch's worth. You know what I mean? Because she's out there doing these things for you. Yeah. So she definitely wants to see. I'm talking about for the real. We ain't gonna get too graphic, but the real ones, what I mean?
For
sure. She's looking to you for more than just direction. She wants you to she's paying for this game, it might as well stick. Yeah. And the only time you can make something stick is when it's a good, solid sense of education, something that somebody's really interested in. Most of these bitches will pay anybody.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? So you gotta find what separates you from the haves and the have-nots, and investing your money is definitely important. You know what I'm saying? And I don't mean just buying a couple P's and shit. I get it. Trust me, we all been there. But, I'm talking about creating real wealth. That's really one of the most, that's really what we're in this game for, is for education and wealth. I don't think nowadays people make it seem like it's a fad. I don't think it's a fad. I think the people that are here, and they, the real ones that really, confide in one another in this lifestyle. I'm talking about the hoes and the P's. I feel like the real ones are here to stay. All that fake shit is gonna be here today and gone tomorrow. Right now, it's cool to be a pimp, but when I was out there in the field, it wasn't cool when I first started. It was looked down upon, and I know everybody says that, but a lot of them niggas be lying. They're not really from that era, They was definitely playing that Craigslist and that BP very hard. So,
is it important that a gentleman of leisure force feeds game upon his lady, or if she ain't really begging for it, looking for it, fuck it, I'm not tripping, man. Let me just get this paper and just see how long it lasts.
I feel like she gotta earn it, and the only way you could show somebody that you want something is by utilizing what they tell you from the jump. I'm gonna, me personally, I'm gonna spoon feed you. You got that 0 to 30-day run. A lot of people don't believe in it, but back in the day, you had to really get sat down for a certain amount of time. The internet's a privilege. Man. Now it's a hustle.
They can make the bed every day.
Hey, bitch get too used to being confined in that hellhole, man, eating hot Cheetos and pizza. Hoes start blowing up and shit. Pimping start getting chubby. You know what I'm saying?
For real.
It's like, man, that you're really not going nowhere. And to be honest, man, I can speak for the women that I've dealt with. they much rather be able to see the world and be able to utilize all different aspects. It's stepping stones to me, and I'm not gonna drop too much jewels on you guys, but I'm gonna drop some. You feel me? Usually start off with the bliggity because she has to know how to, versify what she wants to the trick. You know what I'm saying? The internet's a privilege. Then we switch it up. We might do a little internet, but we'll be hardcore on it, like day and night. I'm teaching her. See, a lot of people use that internet shit and be like, oh, okay, this is it, man. We taking shifts.
Get comfy.
Well, I'm sharing text now. I'm knocking on the door like the motherfucking hotel people at 12 o'clock, bitch. Hey, it's time to, hey, he's on the phone. Yeah, he said he got 600. Because they think it's going to be easy, and it's not, man. This game is, if it was easy, then everybody would do it. Everybody. There wouldn't be no scammers. There wouldn't be no drug dealers, nothing. Everybody would do the same thing.
Yeah.
Is
there a big epidemic of women giving out "I like you" money?
It's definitely an epidemic, B. I don't want no "I like you" money. I want some "I love you" money. I cherish you money. I look at you as an embodiment of God. You know what I'm saying? And not to be too blasphemous, so apologize for the religious viewers and shit, but I want to be her everything. So, having something temporary, what is temporary? It's not supposed to last long. You know what I'm saying? When a bitch really want to see you boss up, you're gonna know. It's not gonna be no problems about it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's what "I like you" money gets.
Yeah.
She pays you, she's still out of pocket. She pays you, she's still fucking with her boyfriend. She pays you, she still wants to get married. She pays you, she wants to get pregnant by somebody. Like, it's just a whole bunch of problems. When a bitch really wants to confide, cherish, and love you and do whatever you say, you're gonna know. But they say that some real ism, and I don't mean the BFE and all that shit, the chili chunks with no rap. I'm talking about some real game. They only get 3 of those. You know what I'm saying? They only get 3 of those. The real ones. The rest of them were just biding our time, waiting. You know what I'm saying? For that real one to come through. But you got to know what you gonna do when you get that real one. You gotta get. You know what I mean? So
yeah. Last question. We're gonna move on to the music. In today's day and age, do you think the day and time of finding a turnout is long gone?
Hell nah. But I feel like the days of finding a female that has a renegade mentality is long gone, because most of these bitches excuse my language, most of these young ladies is learning from their mamas. Ain't never been around no man. A bitch gonna tell me how to be a man, and she don't even got a father or no uncles that's out of jail.
Yeah, real talk.
Or no uncles that own businesses, or my uncles that my father work every day. I seen a happy household. My mom wasn't sitting around just talking shit to my dad all day. My dad worked. You know what I'm saying? He came back and he fed his family. You know what I'm saying? My uncles, they hustled. Their women cherished them. You know what I'm saying? It's a lot different. I was raised different, so I expect that with or without the game. The game isn't a big thing in my family. I'm pretty much like the first real P. You know what I'm saying? Other than, I'm not gonna say, down my family tree. Other than somebody in my bloodline.
So fast forward into the music. Tell the people what you got going on, present. In future projects, you know what I'm saying? Any music you got out right now, any platforms, what you want them to know, features, shit like that.
So my Instagram is Interstate_Smoke. I just started fucking around with the TikTok. I think it's Interstate 9934. My YouTube channel is Interstate Records. I just put out, I think it was a month ago with Cap. We put out that Getting Capital on the Interstate. Right now I'm working on another album called The Dope Man Was My Role Model, R.I.P. Uncle True. And I'm also gonna try to, before the year is out, put out another album. I wanna put them out at the same time, but I've been having to travel so much and just get everything in order. You know I'm fresh out, so I'm trying to put out my whole Betray Me as well. So be on the lookout for that. And then after that, I'm just going crazy with promo. Pretty much I'm gonna be dropping little singles, but I'm gonna just go crazy with promo all summer. Just do hella videos and do hella content. And I got this clothing brand I'm working on. We ain't gonna say too much now, cause you know how niggas be. He's looking like, yeah, don't say nothing, cause you know how niggas be. You feel me? I don't want the name to get stolen or no ideas. You feel me?